Coach, it's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline.
Ready up! Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. And we heavy up. Heavy on the edges.
Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Safety's gripping.
Here's Geis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A carry for Bryce Love, the 4th rounder from Stanford. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
Check 15. Check 15.
And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Here we go. 180. You can't block me.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB. And guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
It's fielded at the 45. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go, Z. Come on. It's going to be a lot. Check 37.
On 1st down, this is Geis.
Go.
Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd down now, it's Love, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Watch the screen. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. You ain't going nowhere. Hatchet. Go.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. 17 yards that time, and a Washington first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run again with Love on 1st down. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Bryce Love, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Here we go. Back. 120.
Completes it to Coleman. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now wins. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Freeman. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Watch the eye. Slam. Kill. Turn it up. Kill, turn it up. Check 20.
Running to start the drive is Love. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. All day. Yo, Mike, 54. They go.
On 3rd down, Haskins. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Here's Jackson to return. The great blocking nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Here we go. Waiting. Watching it go. Quit talking about it and waiting.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott Good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Geis. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 12.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check. Switch. Check. Go. You got motion, man. You got motion, man.
Now Haskins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On the return, Jackson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 45-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Well, this is caught by Jackson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go. 180. Great. 80 weapons.
On 1st down, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Come on.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Go. 56. Tackle. Play 56.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Once again with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
82, 82.
Play action. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
3rd and 14.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Hey, Charlie.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. 54. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. We got double up. He's checking.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Redskin 1st down. The pickup 15 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the 46-yard line.
Now a handoff, Dice going right. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Mike spot 4.
Haskins will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll go again with Sanders. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. 20. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Lefty. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Recon, 132 fighter. Check. Lucky. Check 3.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The quick feet by Jackson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Wentz now on 1st down. On the screen, this is Coleman. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Wentz.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 77 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix. And now look at him go. The 30. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain. 57 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Ward. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
56.
On first down, Sanders. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. From the 30 on 2nd down, Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen. And you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Let's go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears.
On the ground, it's Geis. And a tackle that time by Akello Witherspoon. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles.